One of the things I like doing is I like taking winners and making them better. I love working with people that are interested in a word. The word is more. When I initially say that, what's the first thing people think of? More what?
Money.
Yeah, but there's a whole lot more to more. More time, more freedom, more structure, more confidence, more energy, more leads, more money, more impact. Right? You understand what I'm saying? When I meet a person that I consider unenlightened, that means they don't have a desire for more of something. They're not interested in their own potential. They're typically in very, very survival mode, just trying to make it through the day. Their work is not the distribution channel for their talent. Their work is just a job. Everybody follow me? See, what you're seeing manifest right now in Nashville with the Predators is real simple. It is professionals operating at the highest levels of their profession, and they're being rewarded in the form of love and money and recognition, right? And when you distribute your talents to the world through your work at very high levels, the world rewards you. You will make more money. You will have more impact. But if you're distributing your talents at very low levels, then the world kind of says, hey, you're just pretty good. You're just average. And you're going to get average in return. Average referrals, average return, average money, right? And so part of what we're doing is we're trying to give you a process, a selling process. And today we're really going to hammer home this top 25 concept. Because if there's 4 missing structures we pound on, anybody give me the 4 missing structures that we've been pounding on since January? Every LO in the world, matter of fact, almost every company in the world is deficient in one of 4 missing structures as it relates to sales. What are they? Number 1, they do not have a system. Okay, that's right. They don't have an explanation of services. Right? So when we put them in front of people, they don't have anything valuable to say. Everybody with me? I could take you on the road with me to stop after stop after stop, and if you didn't have anything to say, it don't matter, right? Because we believe having something to say is just as valuable as having somebody to say it to. So that's the first problem most people have. Second problem, and you said it, is they don't have a selling system, which is a predictable, consistent, systematic way in which we go out and try to generate customers. Everybody follow me here? Okay? Third thing they don't have, and this is where I believe that this mortgage company is losing a lot of money, is they don't have a great 7-touch follow-up. Everybody follow me here? So leads are getting lost. I've got a new guy that travels with me now, and today was his first day. You know what I said? Here is your only responsibility. You get to all the opportunity that we've been missing. I'm sitting there thinking about you. You want to do an event in Birmingham?
Let's do it.
Okay. You called me, right? That's opportunity that I haven't been able to push down the field. Well, you're going to get a call from him because that's all he does. That's all he's going to do is get to all the opportunity we can't get to. Everybody with me here? And just here today, just being with you, there's been 5 or 6 things. I said, man, I didn't call him back. I couldn't get back in touch with him. I didn't follow up. That's lost money. But I'm solving that problem because that's what this guy's going to do. When he hits my little brain, hey, go, get it. So you'll be getting a call from him. He's going to say, Dan, what do we have to do to put this event together in Birmingham, Alabama? You follow me here? Because I think we're all losing money because of our poor follow-up, right? It's out there. We can't get to all of it. That's the third problem most people have. And the fourth problem is what we're really going to hone in on today. The fourth problem is we are not extracting the 5.7 referrals that we should be out of the current customers that we have. Okay? And we're going to call that the top 25. Okay? The top 25. And the top 25 is a base, most likely, probably nobody in the room has 25 of these. But imagine if we were working backward, that every one of you had 25 deep and meaningful relationships with great referral partners who had the capacity to refer you, and they were each sending you 3 referrals a year. Imagine 75 new great referrals coming in as a result of just 25 people. Okay? So here's what we got to slow down and think about. How do I get 25 people to go out there and fight for me in the market? How do I first get 3 people to go fight for me? right? Then how do I get 7 people to go fight for me? I was on a plane last night coming back from HBM. You know, I go to Minnesota to coach HBM once a month. And I was sitting beside a woman who was reading an athletic book. And I was interested. It was a book about winning. And I said, tell me about the book and, you know, this and that. She was telling me about it. And she saw my ring and she said, tell me your story. And I'm a former coach. And the very first thing out of her mouth, she said, man, I love Pat Summitt. Absolutely love. I said, have you ever met Coach Summitt? Nope. But man, I love that woman. And she said, I'm actually spending time right now raising money for her charity. That's how much respect I have for that woman. Pat Summitt's got thousands of people out there in the world that even after she's no longer here are out there raising money for her charity. They are fighting for her. Does that make sense? People that have never met her before. So what did she do for those people? Because here's what I'd postulate to you. You don't have enough people fighting for you. You don't have enough people out there who say, if it comes to a mortgage, I'm not letting you use anybody else except this one person at Churchill. So what's really happening is we're going through this experience and we're slamming through it so fast, we're building passive customers, or we're building promoters, but they're not out there bringing us new people, and they're not fighting for us. So we're going to put those in a whole nother level. So I'm going to make the case to you that all the people that make a lot of money are totally customer obsessed. When you study Amazon, Amazon is completely 100% obsessed with the customer. There will be a day not long from now that you order something at 4 o'clock and at 5 o'clock a drone drops it off at your house from Amazon. That's how obsessed Jeff Bezos is with dominating everybody. He wants you to buy everything at Amazon. That's why they call it the everything store, right? He's obsessed with it. When you study the guy who created Uber, he's obsessed with completely putting taxi out of business. He says if we could just deliver a better experience in every crappy taxi in the world, we would dominate. When you study Airbnb, they're obsessed with how do we make a customer feel important so that they'll use houses versus Marriott. Airbnb is valued at $35 billion today. Marriott, who's been in business for years, is only valued at $20 billion. You understand what I'm saying? When you really study the people making a lot of money, number one, they have monopolies. They dominate, right? Google dominates. Amazon dominates. Airbnb dominates. Uber dominates. That's why they make billions and billions of dollars. So you got to start asking, how do we dominate? Not the whole yard. How do we dominate Brentwood? When I was out in LA a few weeks ago with Matt, out the branches out there, then we left there and went to Phoenix. Here's my philosophy. Dominate the backyard before you dominate the whole yard, right? Well, you may say we're selling a manufactured product that's put through an assembly line that is sold to solve a problem for a person that can't afford to buy a house with cash. Everybody with me here? That's all it is. You ain't gonna win on that. You're gonna win when you say, I am so obsessed with my customers getting to a better place in their life that they will never forget me. They will bring me the 5.7 referrals. My real estate partners will bring me 5 referrals, right? My past customers will bring me the referral. And if they buy 4 houses in their lifetime, they'll never use anybody else but me. How do we build that relationship? So does it start with you being totally obsessed? Instead of being obsessed on making money, you should be obsessed on serving the customer better. And you'll make a lot of money. When you fall in love with your customer success more than you love with your own, you follow me here? See, when I do a great job with Churchill, Matt Clark picks up the phone and calls Cherry Creek. And Mike Hardwick calls all his mortgage companies. And when I do a great job with HBM, they open up all their mortgage companies. Right? So I first have to get them to a much better place. So State Farm had this saying a few years ago, get to a better state. Here's the problem. Their own agents wouldn't pick up the phone and call their customers. They got commercials saying get to a better state, and the number one complaint about the State Farm agents is they never hear from their agents. See, right? So when you think about this, here's what I want you to think about. Here's the question I want you asking. Here's the question people most likely ask. All right, you did a mortgage with me, and I did a social survey with you, and you got all 5s, but what's the flaw in that system? What's the flaw with the social survey, Kevin? There's 2 flaws.
Oh, it doesn't give you a 7-star rating, a ability.
Yeah, there's 2 flaws. One, I can lie. I gave you 5 just to get it out of my face, which is what a lot of people do. And number 2, it doesn't tell you one thing. Have I had one conversation about you since I did this mortgage? Right or wrong? That's what I want to know. When I leave, do you go tell 3 other people about me? Not did you give me a 5 on my survey. This 5 on the survey makes me feel good, but I really could care less. What I really want to know, did you go get me 3 new people? And that conversation happens at lunch today, or it happens at the lake, or it happens somewhere else. See, we can't measure that with a survey, can we? So I was with the Michael Brown team this morning, coaching them, and he said, I don't know if I have 5 advocates right now. I got a lot of people that use me, and they're promoting me if asked, but I don't know if I could give you 5 names of people who are out there just rabid fighting for me. Right? That's our first assignment. Let's get 5 people who are rabid for us. Imagine having 25. Imagine like Pat Summit having thousands that even after she's gone are still raising money for her charities because of what that woman did for them. So what's happening is we're having very minimal impact with our customers throughout the mortgage experience. I look back on mine when I was getting ready for this. I've had 4 to 5 mortgages in my life. 3 of them I don't even remember. The number one reason people don't refer their mortgage originator, they don't remember their name. They don't remember their name. What's the likelihood? It was so minimal in its impact on me, I don't even remember who you were. Is that a problem for the mortgage industry, yes or no? Yes. So here's what I want you to do. Slow down. I want you to remember this. I want you to slow down to speed up. See, the way you build advocates, and we've implemented this in my company, is every new customer we get, we slow down and do a 30-minute onboarding session with, face-to-face or Skype if they're in another part of the country. We're picking up 40 a month. So if you're doing 3 deals a month or 4 deals, trust me, you got enough time to do this, right or wrong. Don't say you're too busy. All 40 of those people, we slow down, talk to, get to know, ask key questions of, create a client profile, share that profile with everybody in my office so everybody knows when they're dealing with them what their problems are. Why did they come to us? You follow me? And here's my bet. My bet is if I'll slow down and give them 30 minutes in the beginning of this relationship, that it will drastically increase the retention rate of that customer. If they did want to leave me, they're going to feel guilty about it. And I tell my team, you create so much value for them that if they ever even think about leaving, their conscience won't even let them leave. Right? That's how I want them to feel. See, it's easy not to come back to you for a second mortgage or refer you if I don't even remember your name. Right? So building a top 25 is asking this question. Not how can I make it better for you, Dan? The question is how can I make it so good for you that you would run and tell other people? Everybody see that? So you say, how does a mortgage person do that? Let's get practical. How does a mortgage person do that?
Communication.
Okay? Constant communication. Both good and bad. And if it's bad, fast. Worst thing you could do is leave me alone to believe everything's good, and then you come back and tell me it's not good all of a sudden. And I know some top originators here that do that. Not here at Churchill, but here in Brentwood. Yes?
Coach Burt, earlier this morning you were talking about this, and I wrote down, do more face-to-face.
Yes.
Relational.
That's right. I can see your face. Right? It increases our stickiness of the relationship. See, what you want is a sticky relationship. When you see me do things, a lot of stuff that I do stuff for kids. Last week I did stuff for kids. For all of the people in our coaching program, I did something for their kids. How sticky is a relationship when you do something for the husband and wife, when you do something for the kids, and you do something for the person? Does that make sense? I want it to be sticky. And what I mean by sticky is I don't want you to ever think about leaving me, number one. I want to give you way more value than what you're paying for, and I want you to go tell 5 or 6 other people, man, this guy does stuff for me, my kid, my husband, my wife, right? And it's free. It's all part of the deal. We do stuff for assistants that's free. So if you got an assistant, you can send them to us and we coach them for free as part of the deal. You see what I'm saying? You got to think about how do I take this and make it stickier. Okay? So you know the one mortgage I remembered? The one mortgage I remembered? It's when I was getting ready to sign the papers at the title company. Mortgage company called ahead and said, Coach, we know you're really busy. You're on a tight schedule. We're going to have a person out there to park your car at the title company when you get there. If it's raining, they'll have an umbrella. We've already talked to the title company and made sure they've got everything ready for you, so it's a very fast process. This is the days before they would come to your house or offices. They said, we'll make sure all the papers are ready, because typically when you go to a title company, they got to go get them. Then they got to come out there. Then they got a manila folder. And then they spread all these papers out there. They waste 10, 15, 20 minutes of your time. This mortgage person said, that will not happen with me. We'll park your car for you, and we'll come back and get your car for you, and we'll make it as fast as we can. That's the only thing I ever remember about doing a mortgage, out of the mortgages I've ever done. Now, how hard was that? Everybody see that? That's it. But I remembered it, right or wrong.
You got his name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, absolutely, I remember his name. So here's my point. He slowed down, and he just talked to me. And he thought about me. Yeah, that was considerate. Hey, I know your time is really critical. We know you're moving fast. Let us make it as fast as we can for you. And I remembered that. So a lot of people don't have to you don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money to make a person feel important, right? Sometimes you just got to slow down and have these little moments throughout the experience that they go, man, that was cool. That was very, very, very cool. You see, one of the things about Airbnb that makes them good, when they originally founded that company, what they wanted to do was ask you questions, like do a profile on you before you showed up at their property, so they get to know you. Then they're supposed to meet you there and show you the place, or have someone show you how to use properly. And the real good ones leave you a gift that is pertinent to you. Like I'm in Nashville because I love the Predators. We know that. We knew that based on your profile, so we got you some Predator shirts and Predators hats, right? And some of the good ones I've stayed at had gifts for me. Well, that was how the original founder drew it up. It was air. They slept on air mattresses, bed, and breakfast. It was an experience. It's not just, just a hotel, right? It was more of an experience for you. So for you, you got to start thinking about, how do I build advocates in me? How do I build advocates? Now, here's the 4 types of customers. We've talked about this a lot this year. And I want you to think about what kind of customers you're building. Passive, which is a person that uses you one time, but no referability, and they never come back for round 2. Okay? That's a passive customer. Number 2, detractor. Used you, didn't like it, telling other people they didn't like it. Follow me? How much does that hurt you? Hurts you bad, doesn't it? Especially in a hyper-local market. Hurts you real bad. See, y'all are not selling in New York City, where there's 6 million people, and you could have a few negative people out there saying things about you. The people that are in this room are selling in one hyper-local area. Your reputational capital is where all the money is. So if you get a reputation of, Josh Phillips this morning said that there's 2 things that bonds a person to another person. One is a promise that bonds me to you, and the other one is unforgiveness. Those 2 things bond a person together. Now think about how powerful that is. So I either kept my promise, and that bonded us, or I didn't keep it, right? Or there's some type of unforgiveness between you and I, and that bonds me to you too. So a detractor in your market could cost you a lot of money, right? United stock dropped $1 billion in a day when they drug that person off the plane. $1 billion in one day. That's how much their stock took a hit. You have stock. Your stock is either high or it's low. It's either going up or it's going down based on the perceived value of you in the market. If you don't follow through, don't keep your promises, right, your stock goes down. And that's costing you a lot of money. So you don't want detractors, guys, okay? Promoters, and this is basically what Michael was saying, is we have these. When somebody asks somebody about you, the problem with the promoters, I got to ask about you. Who did you use? Well, I used Kevin at Churchill. Did you like him? Yes, I did. Would you use him again? Yes. But see, I had to initiate all that. Was it a 5-star experience? Yes. What if you didn't even have to ask me? What if I just ran around Brentwood telling everybody, or wherever you are in the world, telling everybody, look, I wouldn't use anybody but this one person. So what if you had 25 of these actively engaged with helping you gain new market share? Actively engaged with helping you gain market share. So the question becomes, how do you build these, guys? How do you build advocates? Think about somebody you fight for right now. Do you have somebody you fight for in the market? Because if you're not fighting for them, here's what I found. They're probably not going to fight for you. See, my number one strategy to build advocates is as I let people know I'm right there with you. I want you to draw a direct correlation between you and I together. In the Bible, it talks about the sower and the reaper enjoying the harvest together. Isn't that a great line? A great relationship should be where I help you get to a much better state in your life, and we both benefit. I sow into you, and we both enjoy the harvest together. You follow me here? Well, for you to fight for me, I'm going to have to get in there and fight for you. Okay? So sometimes I see in LOs, people fight for them because it's personality driven. That means you got a big personality, you got high charisma, you know how to work a room, people like you, right? Like I see some of my big producers that are doing 100 million and above, and they can walk in a room and they got a big engine, a lot of swag, people are attracted to them, they're people of interest, right? But sometimes that's a negative thing for it to all be on one person's personality. What if you had a process that was so good that people became an advocate for you because your process was so strong? It was system driven versus personality driven. Everybody see that? Okay? I want all the people on my team to become people of interest. Like the higher their person of interest score is, like the higher my director of operations person of interest score is, the higher my sales team is, the higher our organizational person of interest score is. You everybody follow me? Not just me. I don't want it all to be on me. Because what if I'm off that day? What if I don't show up that day? What if something happens, right? So you also have to think about these meaningful moments on the journey, on the customer journey. Right now, the problem with most mortgages is very boring. It's very tedious. It's a very difficult process that I really just don't even like. A mortgage is I got to have it and I don't even want it. But I got to go through this process, right? So you got to start thinking, how do we make this? Now, I put up there overpromise and overdeliver, and some people, Churchill, freaked out about that today. And they say, well, you got to be very careful. What if you go into every scenario believing we're going to overpromise and we're going to overdeliver? Sometimes we drop the ball, and when we do, we're going to own it, right? But we've been taught our whole lives to underpromise, haven't we? Haven't you been taught that? What if you we'll flip that and say, no. When you come to me, I'm going to overcommit and I'm going to overdeliver for you. I'm going to create so much value for you, this ain't even a question. And if I drop the ball, I'm going to be the first one to admit it, right? But underpromising, and it's kind of like setting yourself up like, let me lower the standard. Let me lower the bar. I got a job at 22 years old at Riverdale. I walked into the principal's office, and here's what he said. He showed me all the resumes of all the people that had applied for the job. Probably legal that he did that, by the way. But he really liked me, and he wanted so badly to give me that job. And here's what he did. He said, here's this one. Look that over. And I'd look at it. Person been coaching for 30 years, 4 champions, an unbelievable resume. And they wanted the same job I did. And he said, look at that one. He was just in there a few minutes ago. And then he got to the very end, and he said, now tell me why I should hire you at 22 years old versus all these people right here that are way more qualified than you. And I overpromised. I said, number one, if I coach as long as them, my resume will be twice as good as theirs. So number two, I'll be the only one who will bring you the one thing you want, and that's a championship here that you've never won. And I sold it. And you know what he said? He looked at me and he said, you got the job. You got the job. And I delivered. You understand what I'm saying here? The only person I could bet on that day was who? I didn't even know if I could do it or not. But I believed I could do it, and I sold it. I overpromised. Right?
How many years did it take?
Took me 10.
10 years.
10 years. And now they've won 6 of the last 8. So we built a legacy there, right? But my point is, the only thing in that moment I could do was sell him on me, which is something you're going to have to do out there, right? And sometimes under-promising ain't going to get it done, man. You're going to say, look, bet on me. Bet on me. Okay? But if you don't believe in you, you ain't going to be able to sell that, right? So I believe our job is to get our client to a much better state. Do you believe that? So when we get people to a much better state, so we understand this, that I think the way you build advocacy is through intangibles. And an intangible is not something I can measure, but it's something I can feel. There's a very high level of trust between you and I. There's a very high level of chemistry between you and I. There's a very high level of buy-in between you and I. Now, how do I build that? How do I build that with you? And does it always happen between 9 and 4 with a 1-hour lunch? You know the people who are bought into me most at church are the ones in my other coaching program called Monster Producer. Kevin, Michael Brown. You know how much more time they see me every month? You see why they're more bought into me than other people? What if we saw each other 3 times a month or 4 times a month versus just 1? See, the way you build advocacy is you spend time with. Typically in social settings, not always work settings, right? You slow down, you listen, you have great dialogue. You know, I told you about the real estate agent I use. He takes me to breakfast every Saturday morning. Completely relaxed, talk about life, success, failure, completely vulnerable to each other, can call each other on anything, right? Be very hard for you to penetrate that relationship between he and I, because he's done the hard work to build that with me. How much money he'll make over his lifetime as a result of that, who knows? Think about the referability I bring him. Think about the number of real estate transactions I do. What if he's doing that with 25 other people? You say, well, how does he do it? He works at it. So he never eats alone. He's having breakfast every day with somebody, lunch with somebody, dinner with somebody. He's doing events on the weekends. He's constantly building deep advocacy. You follow me? And his real estate business has gone like this. Now he's doing 25, 30 million a year. He's making a lot more money. He's doing over 100 transactions a year. And I watch what he does. Is he spends time with you, and then he moves over and spends time with you, and then he moves over and spends time with you, and then he comes back to you and spends more time. You see what I'm saying? He works 25 people. He don't work 400 people. I don't think you can work 400 people appropriately. I do think you can work 25. So let's get down to this piece. So when you're thinking about this concept of the top 25, how many people right now, if I forced you to name 5 people that are out there fighting for you, could you do it? And one of them can't be your husband or wife unless they're sending you referrals. Right? I tell my wife, hey, you got a revenue goal every month, babe, $15,000. I need three referrals out of you. Right? Hey. Why not? Anybody believes in me more than my wife? Right? She's got friends. I said, you got a revenue goal, $15,000 a month. Help us bring some money. You love the house we live in. You love the way we travel. Go get us some business. Right? See, y'all got to think bigger.
Leverage.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't say it that way. She's got leverage too. So here's my point though. If you can't name 5 people, it's because you haven't intentionally slowed down and think about this. So remember this. Every week we got a hit list. That's new money. Everybody with me? Could that be your past customers? Yes or no? Yes. Could it be a strategic partnership with a realtor? Yes or no? Yes. Could it be anybody out there in the world you think that will generate new money? Every week you got a hit list. Yes. So we're calling on new people. Every week we got a farm club of people who have told us they're going to work with us, but they're not for some reason, right? Those are your follow-ups. Every week we got new customers that after today you're going to slow down and spend a little time with, right or wrong. And now I want to add one more component, is every week I'm working this top 25. So every week I work 3 of my top 25 every week. I don't work all 25 of them. So I pick them. So if you notice in my planner, what I'll do is I'll highlight which 3 of my top 25 is going to get some extra time this week. Everybody follow me? And I'll target. I'd like to take Mike Hardwick from a promoter to an advocate. Like I'm working with HBM. HBM is selling to mortgage companies. They got 15,000 mortgage originators in HBM. So when I met Steve Polston, you know what I said? I want you in my top 25. So whatever I got to do to build a relationship with you, and you and I be close like this, so when you're out there in the world telling other mortgage companies, you tell them Coach Burt. Everybody with me? And every month I go to Minnesota, we get closer and closer. I'm going to visit with him when he's out on the road. I'm spending time with him over dinner. And I'm saying, you're talking to the very people I need to be selling to every day. What have I got to do to win you over? Right? Well, I got his company. Get his company to where they want to go, and he don't have a problem referring me. So for you, I target people that I want to be in my top 25. So I go, he's got influence, he's got influence, he's got influence. I got relationship with them. What do I have to do for them to get them to where they need to go, where they will promote me? You follow me? And so what? And so if I was in your top 25, number one, do you have to take time to build a top 25? Yes or no?
Yes.
Could I be in your top 25 if I don't have any referral capacity? Yes or no? No. You can have a buddy. I could be one of your friends, but not have any capacity to refer you, right? And I can't be in your top 25. Your top 25 is reserved for people who can and will fight for you. Okay? So the first step from today is I want you to start building this. I want you to start targeting those people. And it maybe only got one or two. How many people have got 5 good ones right now, you feel like? Okay? How many people's got 10 good ones? Okay? What if you had 100 good ones? See what I'm saying? Here's what I want to put a little meat on the bone here for you. Because people ask me, where can I make the most money in the selling system? Hit list, farm club, new customer. It's always the top 25. Everybody follow me here? It's always in the top 25. Imagine 25 people sending you 3 qualified referrals a year. And they're doing all the work. Just imagine that for a second. And is it worth you slowing down? So here's where the money is, but most people never slow down long enough to build it. And here would be my next question. If I was in your top 25, what do I get? What should I get? Should I get more access to you? Yes or no? Mm-hmm. Yes. Should I get more time with you? Should I get special events with you? Yes. Should I get time outside of work with you? Yes. We should have very strong relationship with each other where it's like this. I'm not going to refer anybody else but you. You have earned that. Okay? So I want you to think of your top 25 as a VIP club. They get, so I do private events at my house for my top 25. I'm calling on those people a lot. There's high touch, high frequency. When I do special things, they always get first access. You know, I want you to think that they get things other people don't get. Sometimes I'll go on a trip somewhere, cool, and I'll say, hey, you're going with us for free. We're paying for it because you sent us a lot of business, so we appreciate you. So they get special things nobody else gets. And I've even kind of made it kind of an exclusive club that people coming to me and the first thing they say is, I want to be in your top 25. What do I have to do to get in there? Because I know those other 25 people are in there, we can be doing business with each other. That make sense? And I say, this is simple. You fight for me and I'll fight for you. Right? First step is you tell me you want to be in there, right? Typically it's the other way around. I got to get you and try to sell you and get you in there, right? But think of it as an exclusive club. Now, do you think your top 25 can make you an extra $1 million a year? Yes or no?
Yes.
How many of you, if you backtracked all your business right now, most of your business comes from a core group of people that absolutely love you? Yes or no? See, I think that almost all of my revenue right now is coming from a core group of about 25 people. When I really backtrack it, so-and-so introduced me to this, right? But it all comes back to one of those 25. Okay? So what's your pushback on this? What would be the negative of building your top 25? Yes.
Not really negative, but maybe just a thing to comment on is when you're building your top 25, make sure that they're referring you the type of business you want to be referred, that they're not in the wrong pond, referring you those that you don't want to be referred.
And why would they do that?
Because that's their referability.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I want you to think of this. If you're getting unqualified referrals a lot, it's a good sign that you are fishing in a bluegill pond,
Yeah.
not a blue marlin pond. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
I've seen mortgage originators get 25 applications a week and none of them are qualified. And they say, what am I doing? Hey, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. Everybody with me? You hanging at the wrong bars. Right? With the wrong people. It's true.
Oh boy.
Okay? So here's what I would tell you. My top 25 will not send me bad referrals. They value my time too much. So what I notice is these are very high quality referrals where they have done most of the selling. Now it's just a matter of getting that puppy across the finish line. The deal's already sold. You with me? You know, I was looking the other day and we've got 4 mortgage originators that are doing over $100 million of production that I'm coaching at 4 different companies. And the question is why? Why are those people doing at that volume coming to us? But here's what I asked my team. Why don't we have the top 20 people in the country that are doing over 100 million? Everybody follow me? If we can get 4 in one market that are doing over 100 million, surely we can get 20 more that are doing 100 million. Could we get those 4 to pick up the phone and call the other ones? Because they're all operating at a very high level, right? Well, here's how we do it. We get those 4 from 100 to 130. And the one at 130 to 150. And you know what they will do? We won't have to ask them. What will they do? They'll call and tell people, won't they? So let me end on this one. If you're interested in the mortgage business just for the money that you can make, you really got in this business for the wrong reason. You're going to make money in the mortgage. A bad mortgage originator in today's market can make money. I'm seeing bad mortgage originators make 150, 200. If you really want to make some serious dough, I'm talking like the ones making 500,000 and above, you get obsessed with that customer. You get lost in their dreams, and you'll move from 150 to 250 to 350 to 500, maybe even $1 million. You follow me here? That's where the big money is. It's not just I got into mortgage because it was easy entry and I can make a lot of money because the real estate market is booming. Okay? I got in it because I love getting people from here to there, and that's how I get fed. And they just happen to pay me a lot of money to do it. See, everybody see what I'm saying here? So I really urge you, as we leave today, get obsessed with this customer experience. Really get lost in their dreams. Okay? Really, really get lost in their dream. And by all means, stay in touch with them after the deal is over, because that's where a lot of money is being left on the table. I really do believe that. That's money in your pocket. They will come back for round 2. Fair enough? All right, so in the online platform, how many people are in the online platform like this should be? I'm releasing new content every month. So if you've gone through legacy selling, $1 million follow-up, okay, person of interest, every month in Monster Producer, I'm releasing new content. Monster Producer is like 36 sessions, and that's all business growth, okay? And I get into customer experience. I get into all of that in that platform because those are people that are coming trying to really grow to monster levels. So every week you should be logging in there just to get fed, just to keep it at the top of your mind. But your assignment from today is real simple. Go to work on building your top 25, even if you start with 3 people, and decide what they're going to get as an extra for that, and I promise you'll make more money. Fair enough? All right, guys, thank you very much.